Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the Let's Play series. This is episode 4, and guys, today in this episode we're going to be building an entirely new building. We're going to get some storage for the items that we have left, that we couldn't fit in our shop. There's a lot to get through in this episode, as I was trading a bunch and gathering wood that we need for this episode. So with that said, let's jump straight into this video. There you go, you're electro now. Wait, what?
Whoa.
Where did you disappear to? Oh, where did you go? Stay still.
Look. I'm not moving.
Alright guys, before we dive into building the storage, I'm going to tackle the conveyors first. I want to design a system that makes it super easy to move items from the shop to the storage, so I'm going to head over to Wood R Us to pick up some conveyors. We had a bit of trouble getting the conveyors to line up perfectly and turn around by the wall, but we managed to get it working in the end. So what we're going to do is keep repeating the conveyors until it reaches a good height for the next build. I'll just skip that part until all that's done. Alright, so all the conveyors are in place. This isn't quite the final height, but I'm still figuring out where the storage will be at. I've also added a wall here that connects to the shop, which should help get the framing for the storage started. Now let's get started on the storage. First I'm going to use some corrugated walls to create the first window. The whole building will be made out of birch wood, just like the shop. I'm just going to stack some more corrugated walls to form a window. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just using skinny smooth walls to create a frame for the storage, which will be filled in with elm wood. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to build another window using more corrugated walls. I'm now going to extend the framing upwards. It's almost the same height as the shop. I think we'll go a little bit taller just to make the windows fit nicely. I'm actually going to move this wall to create a taller window instead of a square one. I'm just going to also change this wall to match the design of the window I just made. Yeah, that looks good. I'm heading over to Fancy Furnishings to grab some glass panes to put in the windows we've just made. I've just fitted in the glass panes and now I'm adding some more framing. And of course I'm filling these in with elm wood. Right, so now that's done, my next step is to make an archway, and for that I'll use these small corrugated walls and place them here. I'm just going to measure the next part for the archway to make sure there's enough room for a truck to pass through. My plan is to have the road continue through the archway once we install the road in a future episode. I'm just adding some more small corrugated walls here as well. I'm just going to add some corrugated walls on top before I add in the wedges to create the archway. Here I'm just copying the other side. I'm just putting down some blueprints and adding some framing on the front of the building. Alright, and just like that the archway is completed. I just use wedges to create an easy archway. I'm just going to place some more walls here and hide the conveyors, and as you guys can see this will just keep carrying on going up to the storage. Alright, so now I'm just expanding the floor the same as the shop and I'm filling it all in with blue spruce, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut all of this up. I'm going to take some more short corrugated walls and make another window above the archway. I'm going to put some walls here because this will be the entrance to the storage. It seems we run out of birch wood, so I'll just go and pick up some more. That should be enough, let's head back to the base. Alright, so all of these conveyors need to be glitched away so I can place down some walls, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so they've all been glitched away now. So I'm going to place down the same walls that we've been using for the build, which of course is corrugated walls. Right here is going to be the entrance sort of exit that I'm going to use to go in and out of the shop, and more into this episode you guys will see what I'll turn this into. I'm going to place the rest down here just to make it a little bit more easier to place at the top. And that is the final one. Alright, so I've started moving these walls across a few studs because I was thinking that it would look nice if I started putting in a window here as well. This area is quite small, so having no window, it sort of makes it very dark, so actually having a window just makes it a lot more lighter, which I think that would be a good plan to do. That's looking extremely better already. Hopefully it lets a lot of light in as well. I'm just making my way over to Wood RS. I'm picking up some more conveyors to add to the rest of the conveyors back at the base. Alright, I don't know if that's going to be enough, but I'm just going to glitch the wall away so I can fit in some more conveyors. Alright, so I'm almost there. I'm just struggling a little bit just because I wish that I did this first rather than putting in the walls. I completely forgot that I was even going to extend this. Since I've forgotten it, it makes it that much harder to glitch every single thing away. I'm just trying to find the right angles to fit it all in. Those conveyors that we bought earlier was definitely not enough, so I've just had to go back to Wood RS to get a little bit more.
Whoa, I thought the tailgate was closed.
Wait. I'm trying to sort this off out. Wait.
You did it to me earlier. Close the tail.
I'm trying to. Wait for me.
Oh.
Wait. Oh my god, I'm trying to fix it. If I keep doing it, I'll leave more on the floor, mind.
No. Oh. Can you? Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, you're stuck now. Oh my day.
Alright, so I finally placed down all of the conveyors to the correct height that we want. I'll pick up where I left off soon, but for now, I'm heading over to the other side of the storage area. This is where the entrance is going to be, and I'm going to create another archway for the door. Before we do the archway, I'm going to add a few walls around the stairs. I wanted this build to stand out a bit, so I thought adding some stairs to the entrance would give it a bit of a lift. Now I'm going to top it off and add a ceiling on top and use some wedges here to create the arch. I'm actually going to add a smooth wall first and then a ceiling to give the entrance a more imposing, taller look. I'm just actually going to add some posts around the door frame and fill them in with elm wood. Adding those posts really make the door look much better. If you guys can also see, I also filled in those wall blueprints with birchwood. The archway makes this build look really nice. I've used a 1/2/1 wedge and a 1/1 wedge, as well as 2 tiny floors. I'm just now filling all this in with elm wood. That's looking awesome so far. So now that I've taken a closer look at the archway's colours, I'm starting to think that the stairs and the storage floor might look even better in blue spruce. It seems like having the same colour stairs as the archway might clash too much with the existing colour scheme. Since the blue spruce is already in the shop, it would make sense to use it for the storage floor. So I'm just going to swap out the colours. That looks so much more better already. Alright, so since we're already on the topic of archways, I might as well start on the other side of where the truck is going to come through. Here I'm going to place some corrugated wall stubs, as well as corrugated walls before I add the wedges for the archway. That's looking awesome. While I already have the birchwood here, I'm just going to fill in these blueprints. We've just reloaded everything, so things are starting to look good and are coming together nicely. Okay, so I'm going to extend the conveyors and begin moving them into the storage area. I'll add a few tilted conveyors first, and then the rest will be straight conveyors. Before I start on the straight conveyors, I'm going to start on the other side of the storage. As you can see, I'm considering changing the height of the stairs. the window will become a square instead of a rectangle, and I'm not sure it'll look as good as a square in this build. I've just placed a window and a wall to see what it would look like, and I do think that a rectangle window would suit this build a lot better. So I'm just going to change this window back to the original design. Okay, I think that is looking much better now. If you guys can see, I have also lowered the floor and made the stairs only 1 step high. Since I'm already working here, I'm just filling in these blueprints and extending the frame above and below the windows. I'm also going to add a little bit more framing here as well. I'm just working on the back of the storage now. This is going to be the exact same as the front of the storage. Alright, so now I'm just extending the framing on both sides. And just like before, I've placed a lot of blueprints here just to help us attach the corrugated walls to the storage. Since this is the side of the storage, I don't think I'm going to put any windows. Right, I'm just going to fill in all these blueprints and start placing them. All we've got left now is to place the posts in the middle of this wall. Looks like we've got no birch wood left, so I'm going to go and pick up some more. That should be enough birch wood. Let's head back to the base. Alright, we just got back to the base. I'm just gonna drive up here and then wait for the button to be pressed so all this can then get all chopped up. Nice, that's making its way up to the conveyors to process. While that's processing, I'm just going to go ahead and work back on the storage. Same again, I'm just placing more blueprints for the framing. I've also just placed some framing at the back of the storage. So now we've got all the birch wood chopped up, I'm going to carry on and start on the second floor of the windows, copying the same design of the rest of the building. Whoa, did anybody see that wood go flying then? Right, here's the last bit. I'm just placing the walls above the windows. Looks like we're starting to get low on the pine wood that we're using for the framing. We're also going to need the same wood for the roof, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some more. Just so you know, I also picked up some dynamite earlier. We need it to blow up the boulders so we can get to the snow biome, as that's where you get the pine wood. We've cleared the boulders, I can now enter the snow biome. I'm going to chop down all of these trees. I find it easier and quicker to trim the big ends of the trees rather than cutting all the little branches. It's also simpler to drive around and take care of the main part of the tree at the bottom. This should be just right, as these trees are quite large and will produce a significant amount of wood. Once they're all cut up into unit pieces, it will fill up a whole truckload. Nice, that should definitely be enough. I'm just copying the other side and adding another window here. I'm just glitching these walls away so I can place a large window pane. I thought it would probably be easier to fit in a large window pane instead of 6 smaller ones, just to reduce the data size, as I think it's already on a data size 6. Since I was working on the window on the other side, I decided to put all the window panes in every window. Alright, we've just reloaded and it looks really good. I'm happy that in the end I didn't go for the squared window and I decided to go with the rectangle window to copy the rest of the build. I think choosing that idea just made this build look absolutely amazing. For this build, I think I'm leaning towards a glass door instead of a wooden one. I'm going to begin on the upper floor and lay down some large floor blueprints, filling them in with blue spruce wood. I've just added the glass doors and it looks really good. I've also added some blue spruce stairs to get up to the other floor. Looks like we're almost done with the walls. I'm placing down loads of corrugated walls and putting them all at the top of the building. Alright, so we're gonna continue with the conveyors we were planning earlier. I'm gonna head back to Wood R Us to grab some straight conveyors to extend into the top half of the storage. We don't need to extend it that far, so I think these should be enough. I'm just going to start placing the conveyors onto the ones we did earlier. Okay, so I've made another opening for the conveyors to slide into the storage area. And I've raised the walls to the right height, all set for the roof to be put on. Now that I have had a look at this space, I am considering whether it would be better to clear these walls and extend the floor. This way, the middle of the ceiling would not be so high. Doing this would give us so much more room for storage, and I did not want to build a huge storage unit since it is already quite large. It already looks much more spacious without the wall. Since I deleted the opening for the conveyors to come through, I've just re-added all of the walls back in. I just need to fill them in. Right, I'm going to begin adding floor blueprints and extending this floor. Of course, I'm also filling it in with blue spruce wood. I'm just going to get this work light from outside and put it in the storage so I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, so that's most of the flooring done. I just need to do these few little bits. I've just filled in all of these blueprints as well. This is looking even better than I imagined. I'm so glad I decided to extend the flooring. Alrighty guys, it's finally time to tackle the roof. I'm still figuring out the design, but I'm leaning towards a straightforward flat roof. I'm going to fill out heaps of blueprints and then I'm going to put them all at the top. So this is what we've got so far. It's looking absolutely amazing inside and I'm really happy with the colours and the design we chose for this build. I was thinking it would be rather helpful to put up a wall here. That way when we do put up the shelves it would be much more easier to do. That is quite a difference. Now it should be a lot more easier to get the shelves on. Upstairs I'm adding the final touches and filling in some blueprints with birchwood. I'm also going to put in some large glass panes. I was hoping it would be better to see the conveyors visible through the glass instead of having a wall in the way. Alright guys, so that's the end of this episode. The storage turned out so amazing and I'm very happy with the design. I'm thinking of adding a road with a car spawner in a future episode. This way we can easily get things from the shop whenever we need them, which is why we have the conveyor. But yeah guys, in the next episode I'll be filling the storage with plenty of items that we traded with other players. We also had loads left that I couldn't fit in the shop. The top floor of the storage will have the most stuff because it's much bigger. I'm planning to add a lot of shelves in the next episode to get ready for all of our items. I have got a few things over here in these trucks that will start to go into the storage, ready for next episode. So yeah guys, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching the construction of this amazing storage. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one once it's out. See ya!